All right, I'm live. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Monday daytime stream. Ooh. So today we've got Topps Series 1 fresh box. We also have Hot Charizard break and more live card shop. All right, we'll hit save on that. Let me find out about this Topps Series 1 box. Okay, I'm going to get a price on it. Can you tell me how much store credit I have, says Mr. Manny? I sure can. You can start by telling me what the name is on the store credit, okay? All right, so the box wasn't particularly cheap. And I'm not looking to sell it very quickly. All right, I have a price in mind. Let me go ahead and go shopping for a Topps box. Might be a fun time to open some Topps cards in case, in case Pokemon releases a new set, which we don't know if they will, but maybe. Seems like they could. All right, give me a moment. Just doing my research. Well, okay, so I think what we will have the price set at is probably, I want to say 115. Let's go over here to Pokemon Vintage, Topps first movie. We're going to say Topps Series 100, and we'll say 120. This doesn't need to say per pack. Just needs to say 120. All right. Now is the fun part. I'm going to take a look at it. Now, there's a chance that I just keep the box, because I like to test these boxes, and if they're particularly rare, I like to hold them, actually. If it's a standard box, we sell it. All right, let's see what happens. Sometimes the boxes are incredibly rare, but not always. All right, let's see. So before we officially start selling these, let's see how well it does. Okay, the packs look kind of normal. Oh, my eye's burning. I rubbed my eye like an idiot. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Okay. Wow. This might be a better box than I thought. So hold on, let's give it a try. So hold on, let me stop with the price here. I'm gonna jump the price up to a much higher number for a second. All right, so the price is gonna be jumped, and now we're gonna give it a shot. So price jumps way up, just to be safe for now, okay? Just to be safe for the moment. All right, so we're jumping it up to like a whopping 240, because I don't want to sell it. Eradicate, that's not a very good pull. But let's just see how he comes out of here. All right, you ready? Oh. Wow, yes, so this is a very special box. It's some other kind of print run. This doesn't appear to be the standard print run. It does appear to be silver, though. We'll try one more, okay? Let's try one more. Let's try another pack. A little Ash and Pikachu. Let me try this. I want to see a standard holo in here. So it appears to be a silver print run box. Okay. With the hit being in the back of the pack. There it is. So it's a silver raise box with no stickiness. Ooh. All right. It's not perfect, though. You can see, like, for example, this corner has a curve to it. See, I think nowadays you could probably fix that. Might be able to fix that. So I think we're going to keep the pack price high as a result of it having zero stickiness. Normally, you have to deal with the stickiness. Now, this is not Topps first movie. This is the more desirable Topps Series 1, because it's the first print, it's the first set that ever came out. Here, give me a second here. Let's see. What can I try to correct this corner on? maybe on my cell phone over here. Let's see this. This is kind of how it always goes with tops. You have to see what you get out of the box, like a box of chocolates. All right, let's see how this worked out. So okay, so there's a black label on it, the black tops label. Oh yeah, that does improve it. You know, I think you could sit down and work on these all day and try to get them to turn into 10s almost. From basically from flattening the corners and edges, which it appears to be undetectable. So we'll leave these up for sale, but they're going to be at a pretty high price. And if somebody wants them, they want them. If they don't, what'll end up happening is I'll end up opening them pretty much every time I send out a submission. I'll send out 1 or 2 of these. And so it's just up to whoever wants it. Here we are. Somebody got an earthquake? Oh, let me turn on the iPad. So we started them real cheap in case they were junk packs, but they were not. These are top quality packs. Coming out of Top Series 1. All right, we'll click on this. Very good. We'll keep an eye on any future packs too, see how it goes. Mr. using the customers as exit liquidity if he doesn't like the quality. Here's his Venomoth. You know, it's fine if you want to say that, but what's really important to understand about these cards is that if they're in a very, very high quality, the value of the pack shoots straight up, because now you're looking at having a whole pack of cards that can grade 10. So, you know, you can throw a whole bunch of fancy words at the screen if you wish, or, you know, say some kind of thing like, oh, Mr. TCC's bad or whatever. But if I get a junky round of packs, you guys are going to get a low price. And if I get a really good set of packs, you're going to get a higher price. And so it's a very unique product that way. It's not like other Pokemon products where there's just one standard price. There is going to be a price based off of your odds of getting value out of there. And that just makes it, whoa, look at this. There's a big dent in this one. So the manufacturers did this dent. Pretty weird, huh? We'll leave this up on the table for fun. But that, you know, it makes a lot of sense. So in regular booster packs, they're all made with a certain quality. But the Topps cards have so much trouble with quality that one box could be much, 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 much more valuable than the next box. And nobody knows that more than me, because we probably hold the record for opening the most Topps cards. We went through dozens of boxes together. There's a little Charmeleon there. It's nice. But as you can see, look at these common cards not sticking to each other. So when these common cards grade 10, they often sell in the $75 range. And since these are not the international packs, you're actually getting about 6 of these. So let's say out of the 6 of them, maybe like 4 of them grade 10. I mean, that virtually pays for the pack on its own. So you have to have a higher price. You don't have to have a higher price. You can liquidate at a low price. But I personally want that price because otherwise I'll open these myself and get them all graded. In other words, I understand the value really well as somebody who's sold these and graded these for a long time. Ooh, look at this. How much is that box? Here it is. Here's Ninetales. Ooh. Well, the value of the box, I would say, is much higher now that we know what's in it. Now that we know, I mean, let me show you what I mean by that. Let's get a little zoom going on. Check this out. Check that out. Whoa. Whoa. See that? Holy. So what you're looking at is a card that, after grading, could be worth maybe even up to $100. Check the back. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Where are the print lines? There are none. Ooh. Oh, yeah. That's good. So that's exactly what I'm talking about. And to be honest, I'm keeping it on the menu for you guys to have a shot at sniping the Charizard if you want. But I also might take a pack or 2 out of here if no one buys it. So if it just sits there on the menu, and that does happen. You know, when it's time to send in a submission, I might grab a pack, open it up, and then whatever I get is what I get. But I'll have something to send off as well. I already do that. I already grab a pack or 2 every now and then. And that's how we get some Topps cards in our submissions. So that's pretty good. And then as for these hollow ones, let's take another look at that. So now if we zoom in here, notice how there's kind of a lip there. And I'm just curious if we can actually correct that, sort of. So, you know, I have this feeling that you can. Oh, hold on. Let's flip that around maybe. I have a feeling you can correct that. I'll be the guinea pig. So if the card gets ruined, my card gets ruined instead of your card. Do you like that? Do you like me being the guinea pig? I'll be the guinea pig for this. All right. See how we're doing there. Okay. I would say they're a little less pronounced now, wouldn't you? I would say that that worked a little bit. Let's keep working our magic here. You guys are lucky that we do all these boxes, you know, because as a collector, you learn a lot over here, whether you buy these from us or not. Although I do recommend that you treat me nice and buy a pack every now and then, okay? But we're a wealth of knowledge, and that knowledge is free as long as you come in here and just watch. I wonder how many things I've taught people over the years. You know, how many people did I make them thousands of dollars when I taught them about the poker cards? Huh. Wonder if that has a better chance at a 10 now. It's that little notch right there. The little notch there makes me think maybe not. All right, so I could have ruined the card there with too much pressure. Let's just see what it looks like. Ah, yeah, maybe. It's getting lighter, I'd say. So let's flip it around and see if that damaged the hollow in the front. No, I'd say it's pretty undetectable. Okay, so that is really interesting that you can work on your tops cards by just gently rolling maybe a soft pen or something around it and trying to flatten out corners and edges that have been poked up from storage or packaging or whatever caused them to be poked up. So we have an issue here. And so I suspect that can be corrected as well. So we'll just try that real fast. Try to correct that real fast. Ready? Send in those orders, guys. I'll be sure to service all orders. We're just having a little Topps experiment here. We have some very pricey Top Series 1-packs now on the menu. They're going to be pricier than perhaps you might have expected, but that's because we happen to have a very good box of them. And so you can take a shot at them, and we'll see how popular they are or not. If they're too popular, we might slow that down. And if they're not popular, I might just exclusively open them. Yeah, I'd say that's been improved. So we were able to kind of fix this corner, and improve this somewhat. I wonder if it has a better shot at a 10 now. I think it does. Wow. Things you learn. All right. Hey, what's up, guys? Whipple, J-Dog, Brain Blast, talking about boxes. Mister, I finally got the OP5 box. It's awesome. Thanks. Thank you. Oh, yeah, you got that from a break. So if you guys check the description, if you guys check the Discord server, you'll notice that there has been a PSA submission and a tag submission. I got it done over Sunday night. All right, so that's good. And this one has a big crack down the middle. Here. Can we give away both of these? Cool. All right, first time order, you got the Slowbro and the Jesse. Neat. And this one too is cool, but I think it's actually missing. Yeah, it's got white dots on the back edge. No chance at this one grading high. It is. All right, lovely. Lovely. Very good. Yeah, I wonder if you could just flatten it out inside of the holder here. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. It's tempting to just go open that whole box right now, see what it turns into. Okay. fix that for you guys. Good. All right. Mr. Tamu was asking if it's too late to submit to PSA. The PSA, yes, it's too late for that one. The tag submission can be added to, technically, but it's pretty far along. All right. The tag one won't ship out today. The PSA one's already shipped. Okay. All right. Set that over there. Set these over here. That's because the PSA one was done first. Mister, do you think CGC will ever be on par with PSA and BGS? I hate that even Pristines don't compete with PSA. Yeah, I noticed that. What's up with that? Have you guys noticed that? The CGC Pristines are kind of underpriced. Here's what I think's going on with that, by the way. It's not that their grading standards necessarily bad with the Pristine. There's too many people grading with CGC. So I don't know if CGC has programs where they try to get more. By the way, smash that like button. I see we can I can see we only have 16. So I think that they maybe they got people who they, kind of like what Tag's doing with me. Maybe they got people who they give them a slight discount to send in huge orders. I think CGC is getting a lot of volume. If you look at CGC, they're actually the second biggest grading company by volume behind PSA. So you have all these CGC slabs on the market, and the guys who are doing all this grading, they want to get rid of those cards. So they're actually willing to lower the price to get it to sell faster. This ends up giving CGC a bad look. It might not be that there's anything wrong with the card. The card could be just as good as a PSA 10, but the guys grading them want to get rid of them as fast as possible because they need to roll their money over and do it all over again. They need to get rid of it, and then they need to, grade more cards. Now, the first step today, we are going to make some labels for Mr. Alvaro Molina. All right, Alvaro Molina. And before we do that, actually, let me go to the history channel. A lot of vendors don't take CGC. I don't know why people say this. Every time I go into a card shop, I see CGC. We went into a card shop somewhere, where was it, like Colombia or something? So, every card shop I've been into, I've seen CGC. I've seen other local card shops with CGC. We got one out here in Lake of the Ozarks. I saw CGC. I don't know who says that. When I went to the Kansas City Collecticon, CGC was all over the place. So was BGS, and of course, so was PSA. And I saw tag grading there too, funny enough, tag grading. So I don't know where that idea comes from. All right, Mr. Alvaro, I can see we have on 10-4 and 10-13 two separate labels. That's probably not it then. All right, I'm pretty confident we did not ship you those boxes. So now we're going to go ahead and create you some fresh labels and prioritize getting your stuff taken care of. You ordered some bulk boxes. We got it, man. Here we go. All right. It's true, vendors at card shows don't take CGC. It's like universal, vendors, not shops. Oh, okay. So maybe it's more of a card show thing. I've only been to the Kansas City card show, and I've never actually tried to sell anything to the vendors. But I can tell you, I always see those slabs for sale. So at some point, the vendors did decide to buy or grade with CGC and Beckett. Actually, it would surprise me if a skilled vendor did not try to grade with Beckett, because you got to try for the black label. The black label just sells for so much, it's incredible. So you've got to try to get some black labels. You got to. And so that would surprise me if they didn't do that. And but as for CGC, CGC is a very cheap option for grading with. There we go. And the Pristine is nice. I have nothing against the Pristine. I think I own a Pristine or two right now. Mister, have you heard of the Pokemon whales buying out One Piece? I did see one complaint on TikTok of people saying, oh, the Pokemon guys, they're not making as much money. The Pokemon scalpers aren't making as much money with Pokemon. Quick, go buy One Piece. So there was someone making fun of that. Is it so hard to believe that maybe it's just One Piece collectors really like One Piece? Because to shift the blame on just the shops, that's a pretty scary statement. What that really suggests is the whole thing's in a massive bubble, because it's just the investors selling to the investors. And that's a small subset of the total population of collectors. So if you really believe that, go dump all your One Piece right away. If you really believe that. If you don't think it's the collectors themselves driving the price, I would recommend immediately dumping, because it's in a horrible bubble. But no, I would bet that it's just the interest in One Piece. I can tell because the demand for One Piece on this channel is huge. So there's real people buying it because they love it. So that's the most likely explanation. And as for all of the accusations, it's the typical jealousy, FOMO, fear, frustration. You know, prices are so high, it's like you can't afford anything. But we're seeing that One Piece is kind of going up in price. And that's not a surprise, because when you look at the final sales price on some of the mangas, they're doing very well. So, of course, that means people are going, whoa, well, if the mangas are so good, then the booster boxes are good. All right, so Mr. Zach, Charizard break. Hell yeah, dude. Let's get you in there. Mr. Zach. Zach Sticks. Okay. I've heard some folks have such large CGC orders that the price per crate is like $7 or something around there. Really? CGC goes as cheap as $7? Yeah, so if that's true, man, if that's true, I need to be doing that. That's crazy cheap. That's so cheap that even if you got a CGC Gem 10, it wouldn't matter. You just get rid of it. That's like tags way more expensive than that. Yeah, that's interesting. But, you know, again, that causes a problem where CGC ironically hurts their brand, because so many slabs get pushed onto the market that everyone's willing to undercut each other's prices just to liquidate, just to get out. So I don't know if that's even a good idea, being so cheap. But I don't know how true that is either. All right, so here's an order from Andrew Wall. Ship my bag and... Oh, you know what we need to do? We need to get the website. All right, give me a second. Let me get the website up in the chat, up here. Welcome, guys, to the daytime stream for Monday. Today was a weird day for me. I didn't go to bed. I just skipped sleep. So I'm tired, but weirdly, I had so much energy, I couldn't go to sleep. I was unable to go to sleep. I had too much energy. So I've now up. I'm up for like 24 hours. I'm still speaking somewhat well. Usually when I'm tired, I don't speak very well, but I don't know. I have you guys ever had that where your brain is so active and you have so much energy left over that you just can't even sleep? That happened to me today. It's happened to me before. I was laying there in bed for hours just trying to sleep, and my brain's like, nope, stay awake. Supposedly, the more volume you do with the CGC, the better rates you get. Really. One Piece, aside from mangas like SPs, are much easier to move as single versus grade. Hey, mister, I sent you a message on Discord in regard to tag sub update. Okay, Mr. Mike, let's take a quick look at that. Maybe he needs to make an adjustment, or maybe his card was not in there. Let's find out what's going on here. Mr. Mike, who is Mike? Are you Unit 01? Didn't see the Anakin in there. Sent on November 10th for grading. Anakin tag, Vaporeon tag, Hitmonchan tag. All right. Well, let's start by checking your bag. Give me a minute. What is your name? Do I have it pinned by chance? No, I don't have your name pinned. Sometimes I can find your name real quick from the... What name would that payment have been under? Did it say over here? Oh, I know who you are. You are the you're the guy who had the sketch cards, correct? Yeah, I in my bag it wasn't marked to have been paid for. Mr. Brandel. Hey, how's it going, Mr. Brandel? Yeah, I have that card. We can still add it in. It says here Anakin tag, Vaporeon tag, Hitmonchan tag, Lucario tag, 2-best EV tag. Huh, so weird. So we must not have thought that you paid for it. So let me grab that bag right now. I'm going to go grab it. All right, here we are. So, Brandel Vargas. Dude, this one right here. Boop. And we had a couple of these. And then these are still left over as well. Okay. Pop this back in here. So the card is safe and sound. And lucky enough, the tag submission has not gone out. It's actually just the paperwork's done, but we still need to actually ship it. So we're going to send this out to tag. And don't worry, we're going to add you into that shipment very easily, actually. There we go. All right. Did they really hand draw that? I mean, they went through a lot of trouble on that hand drawing. It's like the Mona Lisa over here. Holy cow, dude. All right, cool. The $2,500 black foil sketch card. Black foil. Is it this one? That doesn't look like black foil. Oh, yeah. It's called black foil. Oh, weird. Don't know what they mean by foil. Nice, dude. All right, so that's off to grade. Now we have an order from Andrew Wall. Ship my bag and slab. Andrew Wall. You got it, man. So we're getting closer to Christmas. Are you guys excited for that? I just placed an order for some Christmas presents for Karis. Here we are. Aha. Whoa! What? All right. So your bag says 224 on it. How did this not get repoed? That's crazy. How did it survive? Here's what you got in here. Got a little lady. I can't promise you that the slab will be there too, okay? I can't promise that. Where it says Star Wars, it's black foil, meaning the highest quality of top sketch cards. Oh, that's cool, man. Wow. Fancy, man. So let's jump over here. I have that happen, except I don't have a bunch of energy. I'm just awake. One Piece, aside from mangas like SPs, are much easier to move as singles versus graded. Grab this. All right. So I think we were talking about how vendors do not take CGC cards. I'm betting they sell CGC cards, but you're telling me that they won't buy them from individuals. So like if I went to a card show and I said, hey, buy my CGC cards, they're going to say, we only buy PSA cards. Is that right? Is that 100% right? Like, are there literally 0 vendors willing to deal in CGC? All right, we'll grab this. Mr. Andrew Wall. And we're going to pop it in here. And we're going to grab your email. All right. And we're going to pop it up here. Now, Andrew, that's a very expired bag, and the slab might have expired too. I don't know what the slab is in particular, but hopefully it's still there, okay? Well, we sell them when we're forced to, like if a kid comes up and we just want to help them. Where it says Star Wars, it's black foil, Brandel Vargas. All right, we're just waiting for a price to pop up on this label. I binge watch vendor POVs and most deny even pristines. One vendor said he doesn't buy CGC because there isn't enough data on CGC sales. Huh. We are. It's so weird because CGC has been out for a long time now, hasn't it? CGC's been out for a while, and personally, I've never really had trouble with it. CGC has never caused me that much trouble. Here it is. And now I'm kind of focusing on this new company called Tag Grading. That does really well too. Maybe I'm lucky. Maybe we have a special audience. Maybe it's because, maybe I'm like, my thoughts are that these companies are fine. And so maybe that crosses over into what you guys think. I don't know. A box of Mega Dream with 100 on my slab. One whole box of Mega Dream. Oh, right. It took me a second there. All right. I was like, what's he talking about? There we go. Okay. Hey, how's it going, Mr. Jonathan? I hope you're having a great week. Merry Christmas, by the way, everybody. We're heading close to the Christmas holiday. I don't know if everyone here celebrates it, but it's got to be my favorite holiday. It's so nice. I love the winter. If you're living in a hot place like Florida or Arizona, you won't understand. So, it says here we added Sylveon onto your thing. We're going to reduce this by 100 now. Now it says 525. And let's see if we can pull you a Mega Gengar. Let's see what happens. CGC has too many controversies recently, plus the 9.5 upgrade. People know the 10s are mostly 9s. Yeah, but those aren't the pristines. You know? Like, I get that. The CGC 10s are a little dangerous because it's hard to determine exactly what they are. Are they a 9? Are they a 10? Are they a 9.5? So I get that. The 10s are confusing. Like this guy over here is a Gem 10. But usually there's an economy for these. So like 1/3 or 1/4 of PSA 10. I think 1/3 is pretty standard actually. Goes for about 1/3. And they sell. I mean, not only do I sell them on my table, but I see them sell on eBay. It is. I know because I've had to research prices enough times to see that they sell. There it is. And you know, vendors can be as prejudiced as they want against any kind of grading they want. It really comes down to who's willing to risk take. That's true all the time. Like, I was willing to risk take on poker cards, and that made me a small poker fortune. I'm sure glad I did it. And I'm willing to take risks on SGC and BGS and CGC and tag. And if you're not going to play ball because you're so scared of it, I mean, you and I, we're both placing a bet. And the bet is that CGC won't sell, and my bet is that CGC will sell. You ready? Maybe I have more confidence over it. All right, Jonathan Lewandowski. Here's Latias. Have you seen the misprints with the Mega Dream set? Yes, I have. I've seen those. We have not been pulling them out of our particular boxes, though. The price gap is the main issue. I don't really see that as a problem. So if you know that you're going to have to undersell it, like let's say PSA version's 100, CGC version is 75, I don't know. That just means that for the PSA version, you're going to buy it for 60 bucks from the consumer. For the CGC version, you're going to buy it for 40 something bucks, right? 44 bucks. So you're just going to buy it cheaper. I wouldn't reject it. I'd say, yeah, I'll buy that. But you have to sell it to me real cheap because I know I got to sell it cheap. See what I'm saying? A good pristine. Ooh, what do we have here? Ho-ho! You are picking up a Gengar. All right. Loving it. Ooh, these are so cool. Plasma Storm Lugia is on auction on Fanatics with the 17.5 thousand with 5 days left. Oh, my God. Some of you guys have been around here a long time. Do you remember me getting into a fight because I had mine posted for 13,000 for sale? And the guy was like, that's not right. I was like, well, there's none for sale. I get to choose my own price. I think I was saying something like that at the time. And I was talking about how unusually rare it was. And he's saying, if it's that price, I should go buy one or something like that. Ooh. Do you guys remember that? Who remembers that? Does anyone remember me getting ridiculed for my price on the Lugia? But my instincts were correct. My instincts about the card is that it's an unusually good-looking and unusually rare Lugia. Okay, here we go. Pokeball. You got Ultra Ball, man. No! All right, but I'm glad I didn't sell it. I'm glad I kept the price ridiculously high because now it's an auction and it's currently at 17,000. Now, here's my bet. It probably ends on like 25. Maybe even higher than 25. You never know. But I'm betting it ends on like 25 because 25 is not that much money for a top-tier card that you're never going to see again because it's that rare. It's like pop. I don't know what the population on it is anymore. I mean, it's probably gotten a little higher now. But a Mudkip is 95,000. One sold for that. You're saying Gold Star Mudkip sold for 95K? Are you sure about that? Is that like hard data? Mr. Jonathan, thank you so much, man. I'm sending out more cards to the PSA vault. That's one of the things I want to work on this year. I'm going to start putting some of my collection into the PSA vault in order to just kind of separate it a little bit. Too much. I got too much at one place, and it makes me uncomfortable. And in the past, it didn't make me as uncomfortable. It's just that my collection's gotten so good over the years, just through the virtue of it going up in value over time. Much of the cards I own they were a lot cheaper when I first bought them. And I kept preaching. I was like, Pokemon cards, they're going to go up. And I really believed it. And I put all my money in them. And now they did that. I was actually placing a lucky bet. It was a good bet. Let me go find that Lugia real fast. I was going to make a Lugia video and I never did. Maybe Mike's side wants to make a Lugia video. I don't know. You want to make a Lugia video? Check this Lugia's out, guys. You ready? Mamma mia. Mamma mia. Oh. Oh, baby. Look at that Lugia. Ooh, $8,000. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Aruga. All right, look at this. Game Boy Lugia. There's a Game Boy Mewtwo as well. I think I paid like 1K for that. Here's a weird one. Zukin Lugia. I think I paid like 700 for this. I don't know what to think of it. Some recently acquired Staff Lugias. Okay. I think I got the first one for 400 or something. Okay. And then we got a couple of these, but I know I have another one somewhere. Actually, this is barely anything. I should have a couple more of these somewhere. I don't know where those are at. Over here or something? Where'd I store those? Ooh. I just found a quick drawing. Wait, here's a Lugia. Yeah, so I have more Lugias somewhere. Because I'm pretty sure I have like 6 or 7 of these really nice Silver Tempest Lugias. So here's another Staff Lugia. I ended up really liking that. That's Quib's original Umbreon. Look. That's so cool. Now, the one we were talking about. Oh. I got Lugia Mr. doesn't have. That's okay with me. I'm not actually a huge Lugia fan. He's cool. He's not my favorite Pokemon, but he's certainly cool. Purchased for $2,400 on 2021. And let's check out the population on it now. Okay. So I had offered this card for sale for like some ridiculous $13,000, which at the time probably seemed pretty high. So today the card is pop 21. So on 12.25 pop 21. It's my exact old copy for sale on Fnatic, so it stings a bit more. What? Is PSA 10 better than the pristine 10? Well, I would say that in the past that was not true. Older CG, like look at this. See this certification? I would say that the pristine CGC 10 was harder to get than this old cert Lugia, because PSA was more lenient. And then after PSA broke into a new cert over the ones or whatever, you can see now it's 1-2, right? After that point, their grading standard jumped really hard. Like, we all noticed it, and it was annoying. And so I would say it's on par, at least, with the pristine. But also, I don't know if I've kept up with CGC's grading standard. So if they, for example, made it easier to get the CGC pristine, in other words, if the CGC pristine requirements have been sort of like lax or soft, that would definitely put them on par or even make the PSA 10 better. So you have to understand the timing of your card's grade. That one's real special. I'm real lucky to own one of these Aquapolis Lugias, purchased for $8,000 in the past. That's a very lucky thing. I'm a lucky boy. Back then he wasn't. That expensive. I mean, $8,000 was a lot. I knew it was a lot when I was buying it at the time. Kind of like when I bought this card here for $14,000. Like, yeah, $14,000 is like all my money, and I was broke after I bought that. I just had no money left. There we go. All right. But I knew a sacrifice has to be made to acquire your good card. It's just how it is. Just how it is. Just like when I bought this, I was all out of money for a while. You're not lucky. You're blessed. Whew. I'm a gambler, that's for sure. Putting all your money into Pokemon cards, cardboard, that's a big gamble. And so, you know, I'm the one making that gamble. It's a choice. There's a lot of people kind of hoping that the Pokemon market kind of explodes and goes to zero, because they really want to laugh in my face and tell me I'm a big loser and stupid, blah, blah, blah. They hate me. Some people really hate that there are people who buy Pokemon cards and hold them. So, you know, I've seen those comments for years now. Years of people saying, oh, I can't wait till it blows up. Can't wait till it's all over. And you're penniless and you're in the streets twerking it for money for a Snickers bar. Next up, we have an order from Gabriel Gallegos. 1 vintage pack split, 1 jumbo pack split. You got it. Gabriel Gallegos. All right, we'll try and go fast to keep up with these orders. Always a little busier in the beginning, isn't it? I'm surprised you don't have a first appearance Lugia. I didn't want to. We've pulled one on this channel for Mr. LaFlame, so that was cool. But I thought it was kind of an ugly card. And the fact that it never grades 10 scared me away. Pretty weird, huh? I have my standards. So 1 vintage pack split. Here it is. Shahir's in here. Okay. What do you think is a scenario that would crash the market? You know, like a recession or something. William Wafter. Pokemon cards kind of do follow the stock market and crypto a little bit. Although they are disconnected. They, you know, if the stock market's doing very bad, Pokemon cards start to get sold off and the market's crowded. William Wafter, pre-grade the Crown Zenith Darkrai, please. Okay, William Wafter. Yes, sir. Let's do it. Okay, this is a $3 pre-grade for our buddy, Mr. William. We are. Yeah, so one day the world will be having a recession one day. And when it does, your Pokemon cards are going to crash a little bit. I accept that. It's okay. I will just try to hold on to as much of it as I can. Pretty clean. It's not perfect, though, so we're going to zoom in and show you a flaw. Okay, that's a white dot to me, and so I'm going to rank this one probably a nice, clean 9. So you're going to have a 9 on that one. At least it's not an 8. That just goes to show, once again, how hard it is, really, to get a 10. So please appreciate the 10s. When you see a 10, take a moment and appreciate how hard it is to get that grade. Okay. 30th anniversary hype will be real, especially with the new Topps Chrome Pokemon set. Assuming that that was for Topps Chrome, by the way. It looks like it probably is, but we don't know that for certain. So we won't know it until they announce it. Once they announce it, then you can go crazy. You'd be like, woo! Especially if you're like me and you're a big Topps card hodler. Are you guys Topps card hodlers? I hold a lot of Topps cards. All right. We have Mr. Brett. 2 live customs, 1 black and white Dragons Exalted. Ooh, that's really expensive, guys. 1 Battle Styles box break. You got it. Now, the Battle Styles box break is actually going to be $40, not $30, I'm pretty sure. But I don't mind just putting you in there for 30 bucks, by the way. We are, because you're placing a huge order. So let's do that. We are. All right. I was talking to Mr. Brett yesterday night while I was doing the card grading. Telling him about all the crazy things that happened 2 years ago. There you go, Mr. Brett. So this is going to go right over here. Mr. Any Pokemon and One Piece booster box breaks in the future? Yes, we have a box break right here. Brett just joined it. It's called the Battle Styles box break. And you might be interested in that if you just really prefer box breaks. It is Battle Styles. My childhood friend pulled a first edition base set Charizard. So that says there's 2 people in it. Oh, yeah. Okay, good. So now there's a total of 3 people in the Battle Styles box break. Let me show that off once again. You know, this is getting pretty old. This box right here, it's a pretty old box. And we're going with 41 and 11 with the star spot. So it's really more like 4 and 10. And, you know, you can't go wrong with it. It's Sword and Shield era. That makes it quite old. It's got an alternative art Tyranitar. It is otherwise an Urshifu set. Oh, no, wait. There's also an alternative art Empoleon, which is pretty cool as well. So I'd say kind of like Empoleon Tyranitar set. And then the Urshifus, which maybe have not caught on as much, but over time, maybe they're a little more desirable, right? All right, so 2 live costumes. Let's grab those. The live customs. Oh, yes. There we go. We're going to say 1, 2, 3. Good luck in here. 1, 2. Now, if you pull something, you got to tell me if you want to keep it or re-roll it for 90% of its value. Ooh, you got the End Joker card. And, whoa! All right, so you did miss on these 2 packs, but you pulled something really interesting. You pulled the Poker Joker cards. That might as well be worth just about what you paid for them. So these are grade 10, by the way. Very high chance at a 10, because I saw the deck they were coming out of. It was like a perfect deck. So unless there's some small flaw in it, those are very nice. Now, the black and whites, Dragons Exalted. That's a big one, man. Where am I storing that? Where am I storing that? I think I'm storing it somewhere over here, right? Oh, am I not? Where did I put that? Oh, there it is. All right. That is a probably pretty low pop Joker card. Oh, Lordy. Oh, my God. Back when I bought this box, it was a $4,000 box. I can't even imagine what it costs now. Now, but what's important to understand about these packs, they come from a sealed box that we opened personally. These are not just loose packs off of eBay. And that's very important for sets like black and white and sets that are more young because, you know, in the old WotC era, well, even those are easy to manipulate, I think, with the weighing and searching and all that crap. But these especially are very punishing because of how, you know, perhaps searchable they are with maybe like a metal detector or whatever people are using these days. Here it is. Look at that. All right, guys, cross your fingers for him. Your odds are pretty bad, Brett, because in a whole box of this, there might be 1 or 2 full arts. Let's see what happens. There's other things to pull, though, like good reverse hollows. Oh, yeah, like, look at this Drifloon. I once graded a reverse hollow Drifloon from this set, and it graded 10, and I think I sold it for over $100 as a 10 by itself, just the one card. And, of course, that was back when these were cheaper. They're more expensive now. Okay. Look at the little sign in the back, the plasma. I'll sell you my soul for it. Well, you could offer Brett Love $25 for it. Maybe that's what he paid for it. He pulled it out of a booster pack that cost $25. Here's Drifloon. Here's Stunky. Roggenrola. Hoppip. Houndour, very nice, very classy. All right, my nose is itchy. Ooh, it's a water type. It's a common water type. Phoebus! He's pretty cool. He pairs with Melodic. And, oh, yes! All right, we got a holographic Ninetales. Awesome. So you get a heavy pack. Very lucky. I like the centering for the most part. Place this over here. Here's Swablu, Ninjask, and Throw. So every single card that came out of this pack, you're going to consider grading, even the non-hollows, all of the non-hollows, even the trainers. This is black and white era. This is legitimately really freaking old now. This probably came out in like 2013 or something, right? When did it come out? 2012. 2012. So this box is over 10 years now. It's 13 years old now. So if you had a kid opening these at 10 years old in the past, he's now 23. And he's got some, you know, he might have some slinging around money at this point. So he'd be looking at buying his favorite childhood cards back. And you're going to see sets like this one jumping in price over time because, again, those guys are starting their careers. They're coming out of college. Maybe they never went to college. Maybe they've been working a different job. They got a promotion. And just give these black and white cards a little more time. You're just going to see really, really crazy prices that will remind you of WotC era anyways. But not just that. These are heavily underprinted compared to the WotC era. The WotC era actually got printed a lot. So these did not. These did not get printed very much at all. Here's Swablu. Here's Ninjask. Mr. Shahir says, why you just described me? Yeah, we are. I know how it goes because that's what I was doing. I was trying to buy back my childhood a little bit, trying to buy some of those WotC era cards. That was my time period because I'm a boomer. All right. Now, show these off a little more. Minister, they asked how many spots left in the pack split. 7 spots remain. Was it 7? I think it was 7. Oh, actually, I don't remember. I don't think I counted it. It might be 7. I know it's near the beginning. Drifloon, Stunky, Roggenrola, Hoppip, Houndour, Phoebus, and Ninetales. Ooh, man, if you could just get a 10 on that Ninetales. You know, when I look at it, though, it's a little, maybe a little thinner on the bottom than the top. So it could be pretty close, assuming there's no other issues with it. But I bet you that card's a couple $100. Could be like $500 even as a 10, that one Ninetales. Okay. I luckily kept all my childhood cards, so I didn't have to try and reacquire them. My family sold mine without my permission. They didn't even ask. They just sold them. They said, he don't need them. He's not around anymore. I think that's so wrong because it's not like I was dead. They could have held him and said, let's make sure these get to him. They knew I was a prolific collector when I was young. It was all I did for like several years of my childhood. I was so obsessed with it. And so I had this really big, really fantastic collection. Southern Island Mew, Neo Lugia, Shining Kabutops. I had all the Gengars. I had a bunch of the Alakazams too. And they just decided, you know what? Maybe we can just make some money off of this and not tell them about it. So, I don't know. They must have felt like it was a finders keepers situation, I'm sure. So how about this beautiful Magikarp? I like this Magikarp a lot. He needs to go in here. So he is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Is the queue long? It's a Monday, and Mondays can be surprisingly busy. They're not always, but sometimes they are. So we're at the beginning of the stream, though. And so that's why it could be a little busy right now. But I'm going to try and bust through that. And then, you know, as we get further into the stream, it tends to slow down a bit. Okay. That Magikarp's a cool card. We have an order from William Downer. He says, Dan Weiss, YouTube user, is Wolves Play, but have a bag under my real name. All right, a box of Dan. Let me go grab it. I think that's a box, isn't it? Wait, is it a box? Hold on, let me look it up. I remember I was trying to price the Weiss cards really generously. Yep. All right, let me go grab a box of Dan. Wow, we opened up a pack of black and white today. That's crazy. Such an expensive set now. All right, cool. Well, guys, I hope you had a great weekend. I really didn't do much. Here we go. Very good. Yeah, Sunday, I slept a lot on Sunday, you know. Maybe that's why I didn't sleep today. This. Oh no, that Sylveon isn't a break anymore? Sad. Nobody jumped into it. So I placed it up on the table as a normal card. This. Actually, I don't think we have a lightning card at all. But that's not a big deal because we got a lot of breaks to choose between. Here it is. But we might pick a new lightning break any minute now. Mondays have been busy because you don't go live on Sundays. I think it was really good that we didn't go live this Sunday because I did get a lot of work done. I didn't really, see, that's the thing. I didn't really take a break. I pretty much worked the entire day. Those submissions take many hours. Yeah. Oh, I ran into these. Look at this. These are McDonald's booster packs. They came out like 2 years ago. It doesn't say. Yeah, these are like 2-year-old booster packs. I gotta get those priced up. All right, you ready? Love to see those sell through. They will make a fun addition to the jumbo pack break. Okay. Here's this lady looking, not gonna lie, kind of sexy. What's this angry look? She's like mad, man. She's like, urgh. Oh. We have this kitty eating a bun, maybe. And here's a holographic for you. Lots of holos. Here's a holographic. Here's a holographic. If you like the Sylveon, you could put it away in a sob away for 20 bucks and just pay it down over time. You know, that's kind of nice too, right? The option to just pay something down over time, not have to take a risk on it. All right, here's a holo, and here's a holo. All right. Here's a holo, and here's a holographic. Konnichiwa. Whoa. Whoa. Oops. And here is a holo, and here's a holo. Well, I hope you guys are having a great Monday. If you're new and you've never placed an order, please place a first-time order. Place a small one, and I'll give you the free giveaway card for the new guy. Look, we got a new guy card right here, see? You get this card, too, the Jesse. This Jesse wasn't in very good condition, though, just letting you know. But, you know, it's a bonus. Bonus and another bonus. There you have it. Very nice. That is your whole box of Dan to Dan. All right, William, let's go find your bag. Where will I find your bag? Will it be in here? Get this whole box out. Dang, that was my second ever order. Nice. Was it a good round? I actually don't know how to tell. Oh, yeah, Yolan, huh? I haven't seen Yolan here in a while. Yolan, hope he's doing all right. There we go. Let's grab this. Box number 2. We're looking through the boxes for your bag. Here's a Wild Beer. Here's a William. That's you. Yugi Tao. Zach Williamson. Here's a Wozniak Sokolsky. He's abandoned a little bag. He's from, can't remember where he's from. He's from like a middle, almost like an Eastern European country. Wozniak Sokolsky. Here we are. I don't know either. Well, I just enjoy the anime. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, all yours, Mr. William. I'll just place this back down here. And let's rotate these slabs. Okay, so over here we've got this Evolving Skies booster pack for $55. Here's Starmie, 1 in 5. Oh, that's the trade slab. Here's a nice $10 melodic. Here's a Are You the ... Mickey Mouse. And here is Eevee for $35. I like the Eevee. So let's take a look at the queue. I don't think the queue is going to be very bad. Let's check the website. We got to check the website for orders. Okay, we have refreshed the website. We have Mr. Shahir. He's next, and he says, Topps 1 and Topps first movie, and would it be possible to keep the empty pack? Now, hold on. So I don't know what it says on your end for Topps 1, but the price of a Topps 1 booster pack is going to be $240. The initial price we started with assumed the packs would be bad, and instead they're like God mode. They're very good. They have 0 stickiness, no hollow stickiness, and no stickiness between the commons. So as a result of that, we moved the price to $240. So we can still get the Topps movie for you if you want. Let me do this for you real fast. So if I recall, we had done something like 120 on it. Is that what it was based off of? So I'm sorry to pop that on you, because you might have wanted it at that other price. But we didn't know what we were getting yet, so that's what was going on. I shouldn't have priced it at all until we knew. So yes, so there should be $100 here. Pretty big price difference, and it might not sell, and that's okay. I don't mind if it doesn't sell, because I'll just open those. Let me grab this right here. All right. Oh, it said 120 on my end. Yeah, you didn't do anything wrong. All that, what happened was we changed the price once we realized how good they were. And so it would not have shown you that change in price unless you hit refresh. So that's most likely what was going on. Actually, you're pretty close to the price of a Topps Series 1. So think about it for a minute. Would you like one of these, or would you like the Topps Series 1? If you do this, you keep $100. And this is just a much better price than the Topps Series 1. Now, the Topps Series 1 comes with more cards in the packet. This comes with 5 cards. The Topps Series 1 comes with 7. And it has a chance for the Topps Series 1 Charizard, or really any of the cards that can pop out of there. It's pretty expensive at $240, though. That's a pretty high price. Whereas this is only $100. I think maybe this is more value, because neither pack is sticky. Hot dang, mister. Growing up, I wasn't allowed to collect Wizard of the Coast stuff, as it was satanic to my parents. So Topps Pokemon was my Pokies. All right, sounds good, Mr. Shahir. All right, let me place this over here. So you got $100. And now we get to open this, everybody. I'm sorry, man. Yeah, some people had parents that were super Christian, didn't let them get to do much. Karis had parents like that. They're still like that, actually. Yes. Her dad's a little crazy, to be honest. I wish I wasn't kidding. I wish I was kidding. That's what I meant to say. Ooh, all right. So you're pulling the Tears of the Pokemon. Ooh. All right, now look at that. See how that corner this corner right here has a bit of a warp to it. We were just testing out being able to correct that. So if I were you, I would use a technique to flatten the card out right there. You may have to apply pressure with like a pen or something. But see, it's not a crease. It's more like a curve. See that? So there's no crease there. And I do believe you're going to be able to straighten that out a bit. But do it gently. Take your time with it when you do it, okay? All right, now, maybe we'll offer a little service where we do it live. I don't know. The Tears of Pokemon. And here, but the problem is, what if I mess your card up? That's not good, right? Like, I can mess my own card up. No one cares if I mess my own card up. Here you are. $3 to have me flatten a corner out. But then I ruin your card. You're not going to like that. Here's Rebellion. Ooh. And here's The Stairwell. Ooh. It's crazy to see the Topps get love after seeing everyone hating them so much. The movie set is nice, too. I've been collecting the Topps cards for like, I want to say like 4 years, maybe 3 years. But I went pretty deep onto them. I bought like some really expensive sets. I'm sitting on a lot of booster boxes of Topps, and I've kind of whittled them down to the best boxes. So I've tested a lot of boxes looking for like the rare rainbow ones, and I saved a bunch of those. So I'm just sitting on some really good Topps now. And we've opened a lot too. I've helped you guys open some exceptionally good Topps cards over the years. One of the great accomplishments on this channel, we opened up a Topps Rainbow Charizard that graded 10. And I'm trying to remember who pulled that. I don't remember his name. All right, let's grab this. Hey, what's up, Miss Tammy? Would you like to do it for me? I trust you now myself. I would like to do it for you, but I don't know if I'd like to do it in the middle of the stream for free. Let's see. We might offer a little repair service. All you need to do, get a super flat surface that's nice and strong, and then a pen like this one, and just kind of run it against the edge like that, okay? Just repeat that over and over again. And the pressure, I think, will fix it. You could do it from this side, too. And if you just keep at it, it will eventually correct a little bit. There it is. There we are. All right, so we'll put it in here. The Tears of the Pokemon. We talked about this in the stream before. In the English version of the Pokemon movie, we missed out on a significant chunk of the movie. Actually, I think it was in both Japanese and English. They cut out a very important part of the movie where Mewtwo is in a psychic dream while he's like a child, basically. So he's in a psychic dream being cloned. And along with him, there's like a Bulbasaur, a Charmander, and a Squirtle, and a little girl. Because the scientist who's doing the cloning is trying to bring his dead girl back, his daughter. So he's cloning his daughter. And the little baby clones are like playing together in a psychic dream. But all the other clones actually die. Mewtwo's the only one that survives the cloning process. And the girl has a line in the cutout part of the movie where she says the tears of Pokemon bring things back to life or something like that. So she says that there's an old saying that the tears of Pokemon can bring things back to life. So, but then they die, and this makes Mewtwo very upset in his clone dream, and that's why he wakes up so upset in the movie. And this is also why at the very end of the movie, the tears bring Ash back to life, because it's fitting that writing from the beginning of the movie. All right, so, Mr. Shahir, let's grab your bag. Ooh, you got a fat bag. It was short, only shown in Japanese movie theaters. Yeah, I didn't hear if it was shown in Japanese movie theaters. It's so weird how much I've learned about that movie just from like TikTok shorts or something like that, you know. But If you haven't seen it, it's a deleted scene. You can just go watch it right now online. You can go watch it. So if you watch it, let us know. It's fun. Went back in on live customs. Ooh, never knew that, says Jacob Chickering. They showed it before the movie, and I believe it's on the VHS. Oh, cool. If people can restore old paintings, they can definitely restore old Pokies. Yeah, so the Tears of Pokemon bring things back to life. The other thing that they changed... so, I guess in the English translation, there's this scene with Mew where Mew says, you know, we should love everyone the same. The clones, you know, oh, us and the clones, we're the same. We should all be loved the same. But in the actual Japanese original, I guess the Japanese version of Mew's lines or something like, the clones are inferior and should be destroyed. How crazy is this? The clones, those are inferior. Here's Tammy Lowe, $15 for a backsword, $180 for the 6 best cards to be sent to Tag. Whoa. All right, Tammy. You said the 6 best cards to be sent to Tag. All right. Let's get it. Let's see what's going on here. Well, this guy's coming out. Tammy Schlammy Schlammy. Do, 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 do. Mimikyu, Darkrai, Houndoom, the Graveyard. All right, that's an Altart. That's got to go. Mega Symphonia, Dustox. Dustox are very cool. Zekrom's probably going to go. Psyduck's probably going to go. Mimikyu's probably going to go. This is an interesting card. I don't know if it's going to go for sure, but it's got a shot. Houndoom. What's weird is they actually do take these Chinese cards. Did you know that? So help me out here. Which of these ARs are exclusive? There's more Peko. And here's Chandelure. Sorry, not Chandelure. Cerulege. Okay. I would guess the Team Rocket Minnesota Vikings line is English only. Minnesota Vikings. Looks great from the front. Looks great. Well, Morpeko is not exclusive. Thank you. That looks great. This is off-center. Slightly off-center, but it's really good. This looks great. I can already tell. Okay. And how about this? Okay, that looks good. So we're sending this close, slightly off-center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll do 7 for you for fun. How about that, Tammy? All right, so we'll do 7 little grades for Miss Tammy. Okay. Only Sarah Luge is exclusive from there. Oh, Scooby Buzz. Let me turn this down a little bit. That's a bit loud, isn't it? Okay. Some last-minute tag submissions here, guys. I noticed the submissions were on the light side this time. Not as many submissions for PSA and tag. But this one submission from Tammy is definitely going to change that equation a bit. Good luck on these grades. Oops. Is there a list for the English booster box for Ascended Heroes? No. You mean like a pre-order sublist? That would be really far ahead in the future, wouldn't it? There it is. Ascended Heroes, that's the new Japanese set, isn't it? We are. Or is that what's going to be in place of Mega Dream? Is that the Mega Dream set? Whatever the case is, I don't think I'm pre-ordering that one quite yet. There's no booster box for Ascending Heroes. Oh, is it a specialty set? This is an Elite booster box or something like that. There we go. Probably a specialty set. So it's the Mega Dream set, is that right? Okay, Tammy, let's get your signature on these and talk about where they're going. Tammy Low, T. 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 All right. Yeah, Mega Dream is ascending, but it won't be till January 30th. Yeah, we got time. We got time. There you go, Miss Tammy. All right. Scuba-dee-bums. Thank you, Tammy, for the big order. Mark J. Valerian says for 4 packs of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Rarity Collection. Ooh. We got a Mark order for Yu-Gi-Oh! Rarity. Scooby-doo-beady-doo, dooby-doo-beady-doo. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Good. Let's start snipping. Sending more cards out to the PSA vault just to reduce my risk, maybe? Like, when it comes to having too many slabs in one place. Here's Nadir's Servant. There wouldn't be a list for the set law unless Minister thinks of something else. Artifact Lancia. You got Artifact Lancia. I heard that at a major Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament recently in Japan, a guy got caught cheating. He looked at the bottom of his deck, and then he also, when he was dealing his cards to himself, he pulled a card off the bottom of the deck. And he got away with it in the actual tournament, but the people watching the live stream noticed it, and they called up the judges and told on him. How crazy is that, huh? All right, Mr. Mark. Ooh, yeah. He was real slick about it. He was so fast, you almost couldn't see it happen, but it happened. Okay, you're going to be over here. You got this big old bag. That's a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. Okay. Very nice. We have an order from Calvin Fellman. Please ship. I got 10 slabs. Calvin Fellman, 10 slabs. Thanks for letting me know. That's important to know when it comes to shipping because it tells me you need a heavy label. Candy Vargas. We're checking for any Calvin names over here first. No Calvin names. All right, so let me get you that label for 10 slabs. Still looking for recommendation on Yu-Gi-Oh! Sets. Yes, I am still looking for recommendations for Yu-Gi-Oh! Sets. It's got to be something that will definitely sell. I like Ghost of the Past because it's such a kind of like a collector's set, you know. Okay, Calvin, let me make sure that this address matches. Okay, it does. Sent them to the Shadow Realm. Send them to the Shadow. Ooh. Okay, we're going to print. Please print. I'm feeling sleepy, man. Like I said, I didn't go to bed today. So I just stayed up all night. This is me running on 24 hours. But if I knew I wasn't going to be able to fall asleep, I'd have just done like a 24-hour marathon and had that be like an accomplishment on this channel. Wouldn't that have been cool? All right. Whoa, that's expensive, dude. Why are they asking for so much? Holy cow, that's expensive shipping. Oh, I see why. You live far away. That was so expensive. Holy, dude. Okay. The Battle of Legends, Monster Mayhem. They have those chibi cards. Yes, you can even send me a message about it. We are. Here's Emmanuel Valencia, 3 OP13 with store credit. All right, Mr. Emmanuel. Store credit. We're working our way through the orders, guys. If you're waiting for your turn, there's been some decent numbers of orders placed. OP13. Isn't that the blue box? No, that's 14. Here it is. Oh, here it is. How much does that leave you with? I guess 3. That's got to leave you with like $4 or something, right? Okay. All right. We are. Ooh. Snipping this. Ooh, that's not good. We don't want that sliding away. Please stay. Please don't go anywhere. All right. I think I'm supposed to have a doctor appointment tomorrow that was scheduled like 7 months ago. Just like a regular check-in kind of thing. I don't know if I want to go. I wonder if I could just reschedule it. We are. There you go, Mr. Emmanuel. All right. I'm tempted to ask the doctor about the GLP-1s for weight loss. It sounds interesting. I'm worried about stuff like side effects and all that too, though. But yeah, that sounds like a pretty easy cheat sheet, just being able to take some kind of drug that slows your digestion down and stops you from eating as much. There we go. Very good. Okay, there's the Lugia. Here's our new Mega Break, Nato King. Speaking of CGC, there's another Mickey Mouse. And here is a Charmander for $38. How long's the queue set in order? Almost 45 minutes ago. Yes, we are on to Gabriel Gallegos, but it says he's only waited 28 minutes. Let's see. So how would you have sent? Maybe you are this order over here. Let's see. Is your name Jaded? Side effects plus once you stop the wait, we'll go back on. Only true cure. It's exercise and diet. Let's see. I might still do it anyways. Were you the one Nikkei BTO1 and BTO3 perhaps? No, that says that was sent 20 minutes ago. I was doing that correct. So that's probably not you. Maybe you're over here. Here is a William Downer, but he is waiting his turn correctly. Tell me what your name is. I'll look you up. So next up, we have Gabriel Gallegos. He's in the queue for 2 live customs. Gabriel Gallegos. Oops. Oops. Don't reschedule your appointment. Your health is very important. How is life? Pretty normal. 1, 2, 3. Karis is recovering pretty well from her little surgery she had. Our DNA is all mixed up in some Petri dishes. 1 and 2. She just got a call from the fertility clinic they told her to prepare for, they told her basically to get on birth control, which is what they do to kind of like regulate your cycle. And then they'll probably hand her some kind of like hormonal drug, like an injection that she has to give herself. Mr. Gabriel, those are cold. I'm sorry, Gabriel. And then when her hormones are like very precise, they'll probably have her come in and now wait a second. Did we ship your bag? We shipped you. We gotta get you a fresh bag. Go. So they'll have her probably take hormonal shots, and then when her hormones are exactly right, they'll then, I don't even know how it'll work, but they'll then implant the embryos. We are. And from what I understand is they grow all these embryos in a Petri dish, and they pick the ones that look the best, and those are the ones that get used first. And it's possible that they get rejected. There we go. New bag, I believe. Okay. Gabriel, thank you so much. Sorry about the bad luck. Okay. And this shall say 12.25. I think I paid with PayPal. Maybe I watched the show and I forgot the time, Mr. Jonas. There we go. Well, let's see if you're next, Mr. Jonas. There's a Team Rocket Grunt. So there's Team Rocket Grunt, Jonas Gordon. Ah, Mr. Jonas Gordon, welcome back. That must be you. It says 29 minutes, and you're very close. So it's you're right after Mr. Team Rocket Grunt. So you're very close. Thanks for your patience. Team Rocket Grunt says one of the new live customs. Okay, live custom time. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right, 1, 2, 3. See if you get lucky here, Mr. Team Rocket Grunt. Oh, you're going to pick up Spiritomb. Oh, very spiritual. How many of these do I have to work with right now? 5. It's a $125 card can go in. Here we are, Team Rocket Grunt. I saw Miss Alexis was very confused. She could not find your slabs. And so I shipped it personally, Mr. Team Rocket Grunt. Your stuff just went out. So sorry about the delay on that, but I noticed your label down there, and I realized the mistake was when I created the label, I didn't warn her that the slabs could be abbreviated to TRG. So she looked, and she didn't look for TRG slabs. So I noticed that, and I got it corrected. There we go. I'd have corrected it sooner. I just didn't know that it'd become a problem. Okay, but your stuff is on the way is the bottom line, so it's all good. Oh, yeah. So see, this shall go off to the vault. That's going to go off to the PSA vault. I'm going to prep that for the PSA vault. I'm going to start storing a ton of my for sale slabs in the vault. It's kind of nice. What's this? This can go in the vault. Okay. Hey, what's up, Zenoia? Mistakes. I love steak. Meltan. Ooh, that's a nice one. Let's see. Another Meltan. Coffee. That guy's cool. I like that guy a lot. And this guy. All right. A little rotation there. We have an order from Mr. Jonas. 1 Phantasmal Flames and 1 Star Wars Topps Chrome. Hey, what's up, Mr. Jonas? How's it going, man? Welcome back. So, here is your Star Wars. How is everyone assistant? Oh, do we need a fresh box? I think we might need a fresh box. I'll be right back. Let's go get a fresh box for you, okay? Where do babies come from? From Petri dishes. It's so cool. So nice. So here we are. He ordered 1 whole box of Star Wars. Opened in a minute. Nah, you didn't order that. Man, Miss Alexandra ordered a whole box of this the other day, though, didn't she? And that took a while. That was pretty freaking cool. All right. I only placed an order for 1 of each because I don't know the difference between BTO1 and BTO3. Well, they're definitely different. They have different girls in them. All right. Put that there. And we're going to put this here. And this shall go right here. How is everyone's Zenoia? Terrible. Just dreadful. Ugh. Oh, no. Okay. We'll pop your booster backs. Like that. All right. Nice. Nice. Time to sneak. Came back from Korea, then went straight to Vietnam, so I'm finally back home. How's it with you? You were in Korea? What did Kim Jong-un say? Is he going to start accepting Pokemon cards? Are. Tossing this. Yeah, busy little vacation then, huh? Was it a vacation? Here's Ghastly Meloetta. Oh, that's no good. What's no good? Here's Darth Bladder. Here's Anukin. The 2 moons. And Naboo out of 199. Yeah, Naboo. Okay, that's the city of Naboo, where the Gungans are living. There you go. Misa wants some Pokemon. All right, here's this. And here's Darth Vader. Roar. All right. Thought babies came from storks. There you go. Where's the baby? We're gonna make the baby. All right. Ooh. Pop this in here. There we go. North Korean exclusives would be spendy. Could you even imagine North Korean exclusive? Dude, that'd be nuts. All right. So we were keeping your bag over here, right? But the question is, do we keep doing that? Yes, here you are, Mr. Jonas. Although I wonder if this is necessary. Do we have more John boxes now? How empty or full are these John boxes? They're pretty full. That answers that question. All right, we'll put this in here. And we'll put these in front of this. We missed the Jar Jar emoji. What? The Jar Jar emoji? How many left in the jumbo pack split, mister? Thinking about getting another spot. I think it's 2, right? 2 spots remaining. There we go. All right, so now we got Jacob Chickering, 5 Electric Breaker, 5 Pokey Shuffles, 1 Phantasmal, plus shipping. I have a bag and slabs. Keep the change. So let's get this correct. 5 Pokey Shuffle. We'll start there. 5 Pokey Shuffle. Good luck. We got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. And what do we have? Oh, 40 to the oldest slab break. Nice. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That goes back in here. The oldest slab break, which one would that be? I can tell you which one we're sending the most spots to is the Blastoise. Was the Blastoise started before the box topper? I think it was. I think the Blastoise is the oldest one. So it would be this guy. Welcome to the world of Blastoise. I'll get the last spot to finish if you're grabbing another. Here's Jacob Chickering. Okay. Ooh. Let's see. The vintage bag. Ooh. Blastoise is moving, man. He's not doing too bad. He's at 8 out of 23. Okay. And now I'd like to introduce this Metagross to the box. Oops. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Going in for 45. Beautiful card. 080 Metagross. T10. Tag 10. It was a playing card like for poker. Is my Charizard slab in there too? In your bag, if you've got a slab, that is kept in a box for slabs with your name on the back so that we can find it easily. Your bag will only have, like, ungraded cards in it. So you need 5 electric breakers and a Phantasmal. The electric breakers, they're Japanese, right? Let's see. Because I know we have the Korean version as well. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. I think they are, based on the price there. Good. Favorite Pokemon. So happy. Oops. Ooh. Did I mark that up? Yeah, I did. Yeah, he's up to 8 out of 23. That's not bad. Making progress on that. That's a pretty rare Sealdos card. Probably be one of the weirdest cards in your collection. Okay. So there you have it. Thank you, Jacob. Let's see what you got. It was a playing card like for poker. Dude, Suicune. Here's Stunfisk. He's looking pretty bitchy. Here's a cold one. Here's a cold one. And here's a hollow shipping too, huh? And here's a cold one. There you go. It's the Charmander tag 10. Sorry. No problem, man. Yeah, that wouldn't be kept in your bag. That would be kept in the shipping area. So that wouldn't be up here. There you go. We put the name on the back, and then we go send it off to the shipping area to wait for you to decide to ship one day. All right, Jacob. You might be in here. Let's test this box. Jared Line, Jared Line, Jared Line, Jared Line, Jared Line. So this whole box is just Jared. I have a bag of slabs. Keep the change. Oh, you gave me a donation. James, 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 James. Lots of James. Let's check up here, maybe. You got a bag, huh? It's not like a box, is it? Do you have a box? Guess you could have gone on this JI box, because it also is JX. Tell me a little bit about your stuff there, Jacob. Did you have a lot of it? Jacob Chickering. Do-do-do. He says no. Well, let's look a second time, maybe. Maybe we did it wrong. Jacob Paget, Jacob Nemechek, Jacob Music, Jacob something. What's interesting is it's not even a very full box. So why wouldn't you be in there? Javier, 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 Javier. That's correct. One whole box for Javier. I was starting to get a big bag if you're talking about me, James. I'm talking about Jacob Chickering. We're looking for a Jacob Chickering bag. James, James, James. It wasn't an expired bag, right? You didn't have like a super old bag, right? I don't think you would. Pretty sure you were pretty active. You would have had to have disappeared for a full year. He says no. Oh, he says might just be slabs. Oh, okay. That would do it. Let me grab a fresh baggie for you then. Okay. Yeah, me looking all over the place. Let's get some bulk in here. Okay. Jacob. Thanks, man. So let's get his label made. That's what we do. We make the labels. Okay, I can see your address. Looks like it hasn't changed. And go ahead and print. Sent a bunch of texts. Did ya? All right, Jacob, while we're waiting for that to load, we're just waiting for it to load a price. I'll set this here. While we're waiting for that to load, let's get a couple slabs up here. Some fresh ones, huh? All right, what we got going on here? That says 65, which is interesting because this one only says 60, and I think they're both wrong. I think the correct price is like 54, actually. Okay. All right. I think we'll send this one off to the vault, and we'll take this one and price them up for the table. It's stacked. Hey, what's up, stacked? Okay, let's hit print on this now. Print. So this shall say 54. Dot. Show that it's been updated one time. Got it. I have to reach so far from that label. You should see how far away the label printer is. I reached the label with just the very tip of my fingertips. Just barely. Okay, it's not even on the table. It's kept like on another shelf. Raticate. And he didn't sell, but it's a really impressive reverse hollow Raticate. It looks great. I like this better than the AR Raticate. I think I said that last time. I will lower to 60. We'll give it another chance to go around. Here's this Suicune. Didn't sell for 30, huh? Okay, that's all right. We'll lower this by 10%. That'll make it $27. Okay. And here we have a Raikou English that didn't sell for $14. 14's about right for this one. We're just going to mark it with the dot. Here's this Salamence. He didn't sell for 40. We're going to lower his price to 35 and let him rotate again. Oops. Pull this in here. Good. Salamence. He's from 2021, if you can believe it. It's that old. He comes from the Blue Sky stream. And then this is a 9 Spinarak, huh? Now that's going to be a Rocket Returns Spinarak. And the artist is Yuki Mori. It's actually a clay Pokemon card. Really cool. Those Yuki Moris are a lot of fun. We're just going to make this guy maybe like 15 bucks. That's a vintage card. First edition, by the way. So it's really not bad. We just got that nice and cheap. There it is. We also got this card. This was actually recently priced. There it is. And this guy deserves the dot. Boop. All right. Any chance you can roll my 2 Pokemon Customs right now? I got a dash. Yeah, okay, hold on. Give me a second. You know, it's crazy. We just finished the PayPal queue. And then let's see. Mr. Zach bought a jumbo pack spot. I think it's probably your turn, roughly. We have Mr. Jaded Hector. Let me see what he's got. He's got a Nikkei BTO1, BTO3. I'm going to do that. Okay, so we're going to run Mr. William Downer's 2 spots right now because he's got to leave. Here you go. Good luck in there. Oops. 1, 2, 3. 1. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I did this right. He says 2 Poke Shuffles in his order, but he means live customs. All right, so here they are. Good luck in there. Let's see what you pull. Oh, very nice. Okay, and a Simpsons card. Now, you're going to be given a chance to re-roll this if you don't like it, okay? You pulled Cedra 6. I know what that is. It's a pretty cool one. So you have to decide whether to keep this or re-roll it for 90% of its value as stated on the card. I got to find it now. Here it is. That wasn't too hard. Okay, so the stated value for the Cedra is 125. Would you like to keep it or re-roll it? All right, set this here. William Downer's got a baggie down here. Keep it. All right, all yours. That's a pretty cool one, huh? That one's from the Legendary Collection. Ooh. I bought that card as an ungraded raw card and then got it graded up and popped it into that box. It was a pretty good time. Now, it is actually the website's turn. Mr. Jaded Hector Delgado. What's up, man? 1 BTO1 and BTO3. Let's get it. Here's BTO3. And here is BTO1. All right, Mr. Jaded. Let's see what you got. Snip of this. Ooh. Here's. Oh my God. That's why people open this. So that came out of BTO3. And here's BTO1. This one's got more of a normal looking girl. I actually like this common one. I'll put this one in the front. All right, there you have it. BTO1, BTO3. Do you have a bag already? I think you're getting a new bag. Are you new? Jaded, are you new? Like, is this your first time order? I don't know if I remember you. Let's see. He didn't say he had a bag. Oh, you're right here. Okay, you're not new. You're probably pretty new. It just looks like you got a blooper. So you got one of those free cards already. Cool. All right. Thank you very much. Let's rotate. Here we have this nice Voltorb. We have Zelda. We're going to send Zelda off to the vault. Bye, Zelda. Here's Charizard. Here's Noctowl. He's nice. Electivire. Nice. Mew. and the Mickey Mouse table. I'm going to send that off to the vault. Okay, cool. What did I get? I got a text from Miss Alexis. Let's take a quick look at that. From the 24th. Miss Alexis says she has a label from the 24th. Huh. Rip in half. So that was the label that we didn't use from the past. All right, very nice. Very good. That was a duplicate label we didn't need. And that customer now has a new box to ship, not box, a new slab to ship that he's purchased recently, but she's mistaking that label as a usable label. It's actually a canceled label. All right. So Mr. Zach, he says jumbo pack break. Oh, yeah. Okay, so that's 1, 2, and a 3. Here you go, Zach. Zach Stacks. Very nice. Anything interesting happening in the news? Everyone keeps talking about the Kabuto King thing. It is. Here's Mr. James Hatcher, $20 for slab away. You got it, James. You were giving away a free SpongeBob pack. Was I? Let's see. Haha, you've got 2 slabs of Hello Kitty. That goes down to $100. Thank you for that. Okay. Which pack did you pull the holo from? Was that the BTO3? Well, there were 2 holos. You got 2 holographic cards. But the one that looked like a gigantic titty BDSM mommy, that one came out of BTO3. Thank you. We'll settle up soon. No problem. So, and here's Gabriel buying the last spot in the pack break, the jumbo pack break. Here you go. G. Good luck in there. We're going to go ahead and host that now. Okay. We need 4 booster packs. Let's grab these 4 booster packs. 1, 2, 3, and a 4. Very nice. And then let's get some cards. My brother put it in order. Nice. All right. Oops. Here's this. Here's this. Here's this. And we need a chase card, don't we? So let's grab a chase card. It'll just be the star card this time. Make it simple. All right, cool. I'll shuffle this behind the screen so you can't see how it shuffled. And now we're bringing it back to the front. So just 4 spots. It's a 1 in 4 break. All right, give me a number, guys. Whew, I feel it, man. I feel tired. I definitely feel like I skipped sleeping tonight, but it's so weird. I had so much energy. I just couldn't go to bed. 1. We got 1. There it goes. I stayed up. I got all those submissions done. I was just laying in bed thinking about things I wanted to work on. Any Kabuto so I may serve my Kabuto King. No, I don't think we have any. Here it is. Oh, wait a second. Look, I'm sleepy. Look, I got the name shown. All right. So let's try that again. Here, we'll do that behind the screen there. All right, so you don't know where the names are. Yeah, I saw his collection of Kabutos. You know, it made me want to do the same thing with, like, I don't know, maybe like Rocket Diglett. But I just don't think it's a good idea overall. You see, the problem is he's happy actually being stuck with all those Kabutos. He's happy with that. But the reality is nobody really wants Kabuto. He's never been popular. All right, give me a number. Nobody. The problem is people fundamentally don't actually want Kabuto cards. So he might have pushed the price up real high, and he might even be able to leverage out of some of those Kabutos, or because he was the first one to do that sort of like meme stock on a common card, he might be able to get away with signing some of them and selling them for some kind of outrageous price. 1, 2. Thank you, Mr. Gabriel. But in general, I don't think it's a good strategy. Here's Isaac Thomas. It is. So in other words, I think he did well getting attention for it, but I don't recommend it as an actual market strategy. Here's Gabriel. Oh, could it be Mr. Gabriel? All right, Gabriel, I think you pulled it. Here's Mr. Zach. You were close, Zach. And here's Gabriel. You had 2 spots in here? No wonder you pulled it. He bought out half the break. Yeah, you had a 50% odds. There you go. All right. Cool, man. That's going to be Gabriel Gallegos. What card is next is the question. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like, he's not the only guy who can buy out a market. There's guys with enough money. Like, there was one guy, I heard him talking about how he placed a, you know, 900 is it 911? Yeah, $911,000 bid. So just shy of $1 million. He placed just shy of $1 million bid on a completed first edition base set that he wanted to buy off of Fanatics or something like that. I don't remember where the auction was being hosted. But he bid just shy of $1 million and he lost. He was talking about how he lost. And it was fascinating to hear him talk because he mentioned the only reason he had to buy the set was because his set burned in the Palisades fire. Wow. We were all wondering about that. Like how many Pokemon cards got lost in the Palisades fire. Makes you wonder how many more Pokemon cards would be lost over the years to natural disaster, flooding, hurricane, tornado, and fire. Paramount launched a $108 billion bid for Warner Brothers. I thought the bidding was over. Supreme Court hearing Trump versus Slaughter. I don't know what that is. I know the Supreme Court is probably going to take up the birthright citizenship case, so that's interesting. Is that what you're referring to? I mean, that is a big deal, the whole birthright thing. It's fundamentally changed our country over my lifetime, and so if they change that rule, the country definitely slows down a bit. It definitely sets back, you know, rapid ethnic change. Here goes. Here goes. Step in this. Here's this. I keep hearing about the whole Somalian thing. I hear about that like 20 times a day now. Here we go. Just getting more and more little details, things I didn't know. You can't just change the Constitution. Right. That's not what they're trying to do. They're not trying to change the Constitution. They're saying that the people who are having a child in America is not in the jurisdiction of America. So they're lying in the actual amendment, which was designed to help freed slaves have their children become citizens. But today it's become sort of like a loophole to make an anchor baby. The exact wording of it says, in the jurisdiction thereof. And so the argument being made in the court is that, well, if you're here illegally, you're not in the jurisdiction of America or something like that. So that's the argument they're going to try and make. We don't know how the Supreme Court will rule on that, but it's a pretty big ruling. So we don't know what will happen. Here it is. But I know a lot of people who want to come into the United States and use like the anchor baby strategy as an actual method for becoming a citizen. They're not going to be happy if we change that rule because it's been a very successful strategy for sort of evading our immigration laws and getting around them. We are. Snip. All right. And here's some of these. Snip. And here is some of these. Trump versus Slaughter is the case about Trump firing an FTC member. FTC. Federal Trade Commission. Is that right? There we go. I've got no idea about that one. It is. Okay. Very nice. So here is the jumbo break. Very nice, very nice, very nice. Mr. Gabriel. Trump said he might get involved and shut the deal down, which makes sense since him and Larry Ellison are friends. Oh, you're talking about the whole Netflix thing. Yeah, I heard about that too. I heard about, you know, the... I heard it was, I can't remember I can't remember who it was exactly who said they want to stop the deal. I don't think it was Trump himself who said it. It was somebody who works for him. One of his cabinet members said they're going to block the deal or something. And I thought that was really interesting because what I was reading is that whether the deal finishes or not, Warner Brother gets like some crazy $3 billion or something. It was a $90 billion deal, and whether it goes through or not, Warner Brothers gets $3 billion. But the reason they didn't want it to go through, some cabinet member of the Trump organization, is because it would be considered a monopoly or something like that. It is. So it's so weird to hear monopolies getting broken up or something like that, because it's this thing you hear politicians, warn about, but they never actually do anything about it. Ooh, code. Kind of like I was watching this documentary about meatpacking factories and how there's only 4 meatpacking factories in all of America processing all of our meat, and it creates a monopoly. And the politicians say they want to break it up, but they actually never do. Wow, you pulled Timmy and Tommy. That's pretty good. Look at that. Timmy and Tommy. All right, very nice. Zach says you would need to change the Constitution. I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to argue that we've not been following the rule. Or it was an amendment, wasn't it? They're going to argue that the amendment is not being followed correctly. It's not been interpreted correctly. And I think that's a fair case to try and make, because if you think about why the amendment was created, again, it was created to help freed slaves have their children become citizens of the United States. It wasn't designed so that, like, somebody could fly in from an airplane from Russia with a pregnant wife, overstay their travel visa, and then have a kid, and now that kid's an American. No other country does that. That's uniquely a thing we're doing over here. All other countries would say, no, you're not. Of course you're not a citizen. That would be ridiculous. So that's something we're doing over here, and they're challenging it and saying, well, if you actually look at the wording is designed to say that they have to be like, I guess the wording they're challenging is that in the jurisdiction thereof wording. Megumi. Ooh. So I don't know how that's going to look when it's over. And, the judges might just say, nah, that's too bad. And then, yeah, you're right. If the judges reject it, that would have to be their next step, would be to have to try and change the Constitution itself. We are. Ooh. Here's SpongeBob. Whoa. I think it's really interesting because I actually think it cuts straight to the heart of the, the heavy immigration into the country. I mean, that's like the roots, basically. I think in those terms, like, what is the root of an issue? What is the root driver? And the root driver is some combination of having a welfare state where it's like there's generous handouts, and then at the same time having sort of like, laws that make it possible to get in and stay in. You know what I'm saying? There it is. Ooh, Mr. Beerus. So over time, let's say we didn't change anything in the United States, I would expect the United States to become like, this country that gets heavily, heavily, heavily moved into. Ooh. Until it maybe runs out of money or something. I was born in the U.S., mister. You were born in the U.S.? Hell yeah, dude. The amendment says every baby. Seems rather cut and dry. I'm not disagreeing necessarily. I'm curious what the Supreme Court justices actually say, though, It is. Tossing this over here. Like I said, they're going to argue that chunk of language that says in the jurisdiction thereof. They're going to make some kind of argument that when the law was written, it was literally written so that, like ambassadors couldn't come over and have children and those children would become U.S. citizens. And so they're going to say the reason that they created that rule was because it wasn't for the people who are traveling over here. It was just for, they're going to argue it was just for the freed slaves and maybe like the Native Americans. What do we have here? We have the zombie. Here's the panda. Here's the achievement card. And here is the bad omen. Ooh. I'm an anchor baby. When I want to be an anchor baby. Okay. If the raspy voice guy is arguing this, they'll come up with some crazy argument that the compromise court will go along with. The raspy voice guy. You talking about JFK Jr.? This. They'll come up with some crazy argument that the compromise court will go along with. We are. Yeah, I think that the Democrats are looking at the Supreme Court as sort of like conservative leaning, right? And I think that it shows you how dangerous basically the Supreme Court is. Control of the Supreme Court is like control of the country. because you can fight tooth and nail with your political ideological opponent and then just win in the courts, and that's it. Actually, we've been seeing that a lot. It's not just at the Supreme Court level. It's like all levels of jurisdiction. You know, so Trump will try to pass some sort of executive order, I guess, and then he'll just get blocked by a judge, and then that has to go to a court. And so it's just the courts. I don't really think that was how I don't think that's how the parties, the original founders, intended for laws to be passed in the country, you know, for like decisions to be made. I think they wanted the Senate, the Congress, and the president to actually write legislation and pass it. Look at that Piplup. Beautiful, man. He got that out of the Phantasmal Flames. Such a nice card. Here we are. Checks and balances. Trump Jr. is an anchor baby. Is he? I want my lunch. Wait, what's that clip again? I can't remember. Suitcase. I want my suitcase. Cold. Here is Mega Dream. We've got Crustle. We've got Yan Mega. Yeah, the whole birthright citizenship is a unique thing. They don't do it in pretty much anywhere else in the world. Here it is. Here's Gengar. Okay. It wasn't, when it was created, it wasn't intended for how it's being used today either, right? Like, so at the time that they created it, they didn't say, gosh, I hope people from, you know, like Czechoslovakia can fly in, have a child, and then that child is a baby of America. That's why we're writing this law. They weren't thinking of that. The reason they were writing the law was for to help, again, the Native Americans and the freed slaves. Other than that, if you wanted to migrate to the U.S., you had to actually follow immigration laws, which were extremely strict until about 1965, where they were changed slightly to allow a broader number of people in from across the world. Here's this guy. What the hell? Wait, is that a code? Did I just hand a code out? I don't even know what just happened there. All right. And Jolteon coming out of the Vivid Voltage pack. Oh, yeah. Suitcase. That's right. He's like 50-50 anchor baby. Haha. Here's Sarina. Is he actually an anchor baby, though? I don't think he is, right? All right. Very nice. Is one of their legal guys that argues for the court. I forgot his name, but he has a voice on par with RFK. Oh, I have no clue then. Toss that over there. All right. That's it, Mr. Gabriel. Very nice. Let's see. I sent another order. You missed my Phantasmal Flame pack. Don't forget my shipping. I paid for my slabs. I've sent another tip. What? Have no fear. We got your label printed out, and we'll get you that Phantasmal Flames pack. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to miss that. Here's Serena, Jolteon, the Apple. Here's Oddish. We got a Master Ball over here. Here's Piplup looking really strong. I like that card a lot. You got Harpy. You got some nice Minecraft cards. Here's Hermione. Here's SpongeBob, Megumi. All right, and I actually like this a lot, the Timmy and Tommy. I think I'd actually recommend grading that. Mr. Gabriel, let's find your bag. You have a big fat bag right away, huh? It's cool, man. Trump's daughter can drop that anchor right over here. You talking about Ivanka? We are. She's getting old, though, right? She's an older married woman. Tossing this. Now, where were we? Let's rotate this. We're going to take care of Mr. Jacob real fast. He said I missed a Phantasmal Flames, but we did get that label printed, so that part's done. Oh, wow, that's nice. I may have to check up on that one. Melania's one foin cougar. Ivanka got the trunks. Watching TCC and TikTok is peak. Oh, my God. All right, so I wish you had candy on your menu. Oh, don't tell me that. We tried that one time, but the problem was I was eating the candy. So Jacob Chickering, One Life Custom, keep the change. You forgot my Phantasmal Flames pack. And keep the extra change. You're tipping me too much. Here it is. Here's Phantasmal Flames. And then here's the live custom. You ready? Let's see. Would Junior be an anchor baby, considering one parent was already a U.S. citizen? There we go. Very nice. A 1, a 2, a 3. Let's see what you got. Ah, very lucky. Okay, cool. Very lucky. Let's see what you pull. Ready? So it is Trevenant. Ooh, Trevenant. Here's... Oh, I know what that's going to be. The Dust Noir and Trevenant, isn't it? That's a cool card. You normally probably wouldn't think that you would want one, but here he is. So you can re-roll it if you'd like to re-roll it for 90% of $75. What that'll get you is 2 re-rolls plus some leftover credit for more rolling. Okay. You deserve it. Aw, you're too nice, man. I appreciate it. There it is. Trevenant and Dust Noir. I always get the jar of red vines. The what? I'll keep it. Or the Campbell's 3D Chicken Noodle Soup Pokemon. The Campbell's 3D printed chicken noodle soup. He literally called Campbell's food the slop, huh? How crazy is that? Throw that away. Let's see what's inside your Phantasmal Flames. Really appreciate you stopping in today, man. And I appreciate the tips. Pretty cool that you got lucky on that, too. All right. What do we got here? We've got Charcodet, Grand Bull, and Reshiram. Nothing crazy coming out of the pack. But the live custom was fun. How do you guys feel about the changes to the live customs and to the Poke Shuffles? Are you guys enjoying that? I think the re-roll option is really cool so that if you ever get something you don't like or you feel like it's unfair in the box, like, oh, that's a junky one, you can just re-roll it. And I think also the live customs not being snipeable anymore encourages people to regularly purchase them without being afraid that you're just digging out the cold ones for the next guy. So I think that that's been an improvement. It allows you to kind of take a chance at a slab without having to wait for that slab to actually go off, right? Like if you get into a regular break, like this one, you got to wait for all the spots to sell. Whereas in the live customs, you can just buy them, and what you get is what you get. You know right away the outcome. Mr. Mark, I think I have a knockdown slab. If I do, you may give it away and run it in the nighttime stream. Ooh. Give me a moment here. Mark gives his knockdown. You're too generous, Mr. Mark. I'll set this to the side and try to remember that for tonight, okay? I ask why the price is so high on the Topps Pokemon Series 1 packs. Miss Diane, I know you might be interested in those. We basically discovered that they're perfect. When we open it up, the stickiness level is 0. No stickiness on the holo, no stickiness on the commons. And so that's the price I was comfortable selling it at. Now, I want you to take a second, and if it feels like it's too high, I just want you to not buy them. Just don't buy them. I'll personally open them and just send them all off to grade and probably get more than $240 from them anyways. So let's see. We opened up a little bit of them earlier. Where'd they go? Here they are. So this is what we pulled when we were testing it. 0% stickiness between any of the cards. And yeah, they're just coming out pretty well. It is Series 1, and I like that. And here's these as well. So that is the price I'm comfortable with. And if it were to go any lower, I just wouldn't sell them at all. I'd actually just keep them. I'd be like, I don't want to go beneath this. I would just open them. Here they are. I've done that before. I have a box of Topps above my head right now that I haven't finished opening. And I could have sold those Topps packs, but I decided to open and grade them. There we go. Place this over here. Insane price. Yeah, again, if you think that the Topps Series 1 pack is too expensive, that's okay. Let me show you a pack real fast, Diane. Here it is. So in case you need any convincing, hopefully I don't pull Charizard, right? If I pull Charizard, then you definitely have no reason to open these anymore. Looks like I got a Primeape, and look, There's absolutely zero sticking to it at all. Okay, so there's the proof. Here's the proof. Okay, take a look at this with me. Topps is a very unique card set. I was explaining this at the beginning of the video. I was saying that, unlike other card sets, I believe that the condition of the cards in the pack heavily influenced the value of the box. Now, the problem is you don't know what kind of box you're getting until you open it. Most of the time when you open a box, you get an absolutely trashy box and all your cards inside are ruined. And on a rare occasion, you get a nice one. This is that rare occasion. Okay, so, and now watch. Here's what's cool. These aren't sticky either. So these aren't even sticking. So the holo's not sticking and the commons aren't sticking. And there's actually 7 commons this time because it's the regular box. Here's my Chop. Here's a little Charmander for me. That's good. And here is a little Oddish. So that's a very good outcome. And I could sell the whole box or I could just keep it and open it. You know, I grade cards too, right? And I don't mind having more Topps cards to grade. That sounds great. But again, if you guys feel like the price is wrong, just don't buy it. And I encourage you to think that way about it. Here we go, Persian. The question I have for myself is, if I just open those packs and just grade all the cards inside, how will I do? And I've been doing this long enough that I feel like 240s, maybe on the high end. But then again, no Charizard's been pulled, no Pikachu's been pulled, no Charmander, no Charmeleon, no Blastoise, no Venusaur, no Misty, no you know, all those top pulls that are really desirable in the set, they're still in there. And something will come out of that box. I don't know what. And that card, if it grades 10, like let's say you get a Charizard out and he grades 10, he's like a easy, I think he's over 1,000 now, isn't he? Well, if you stop Series 1, he's more than the Chrome version of that same Charizard, which is something some people don't know that. But the top Series 1 Charizard is so much harder to grade. It is. I'll trade you my entire bag for him. For what? I need that Charmander. How much was it? Dennis Montiari wants to make a trade for the Charmander. Where's your bag at? Is it in the D's? Let's see what you got in your bag. Okay, I'll consider the trade. Not there. Send a whole Topps box to grade. Here it is, Dennis Maniari. You'd like to trade this bag for 1 Charmander. Let's take a quick look at what you have to offer. So, some holos, some girl cards. This one's cute. Look at that. That's cute. It's just sealed, so that's a sealed card. Some holos. Some doggies. Bark. So it's obvious you've opened a couple of these, and then you've got a sealed pack of the Gem 2. It's not a terrible offer. I think I can make some money back just on these. Can I have a look at the Charmander again? Let me have a sense of that Charmander, because if that one's really suited for grading, it might be more valuable than this bag by a lot, depending on what those Charmanders go for when they grade 10. Dang, my bag is bigger than I thought. Now it is bigger than you thought, but it's mostly just holos, right? Okay. He's not perfect, but I think that he could be rolled out and potentially get a 10. My biggest concern is at the top. See that edge right there? But you know what? I actually feel that can be rolled out these days. We've been learning a lot about flattening the cards. We were testing that out on a holographic card at the beginning of the stream. So I feel that this Charmander is probably in the 10 potential sort of like range. And if that's the case, I think the Charmander is actually the better card. So your bag is only this large when we remove all the holos. So we get rid of those holos. And these are commons to be in. That's a holo. These are commons. And then actually many of these are not really worth grading, like the Gaifus aren't. I don't know about this. All right, so what you really have is about this much. And I don't know about that. I think I would rather have the Charmander. If he grades 10, that is. But still need him. He's going in my PC, not selling. I got you, man. Here we are. Tosses up here. Well, what I would probably say is you could buy a Charmander off of eBay, and that one would probably not be viable for a 10, the one on eBay is probably going to be like sub 10, you know what I mean? So you can go buy a raw one off of eBay that somebody's already looked over. It probably costs like 20 bucks, maybe less, depending on its condition. But I think this one should probably undergo grading first. And I should be in charge of that because I've got the practice for it. And there we go. It's like it didn't exist. Almost. That's pretty good. I think that could be a 10 Charmander. Okay, thanks for taking the time to look. No problem, man. What's the difference between the blue and black Topps logo? It refers to print runs. Good question, Miss Diane. So the black logo will be referring to the second print run. The first print run is a blue logo. It generally does not affect the price of the slab. However, if you can get rainbow anything, that's usually preferred. So if this was like a rainbow box, but I don't even know what I would sell the packs for if it was rainbow. Maybe I just wouldn't sell them. The rainbow packs maybe would go like 400, 500. We actually have those rainbow packs. I could sell you one. But so the rainbow cards go for a little bit more because people like that color. Kind of pops, and those generally are even harder to grade for some reason. Something about the rainbow foil is just very hard to grade. What time is it? 7:49? 7:40? I think it's about time to wrap up here, guys. Let me check on the website real fast. So we have an order from Mr. Stephen C. Hey, that's Stephen C. He wants Japanese One Piece OP11. No more orders, guys. We're going to service this. Let's see. OP11. Trying to remember what that looks like. There's so many One Piece sets, they all look a little bit different from each other. That would be this one right over here. Yes. All right, let's get it. Make sure to check the website orders. Oh yeah, it's Mr. Steven's turn. All right, Steven. Nice to see you. Let's see what we got here. Don't worry, Steven. We would never skip your order. Not over yet, guys. We still got a couple orders in the queue to service. And then I got to go stretch. I got to go have dinner. Maybe have a nap. Where did you get penny sleeves for your Team Rocket Topps tin box topper from? I don't have a penny sleeve for that. That is literally a stretched out sandwich baggie. I just stretched a sandwich baggie out really far. Yeah, I have no clue for that one. You may need to order some kind of custom plastic bag, which I'm sure you can find that online. A custom plastic bag of some sort. Or maybe like just this really huge sleeve or something. All right, ready? So, here's a hollow. Here's a hollow. Well, the girl's got some boobies, man. Here's a hollow. Here's a hollow. That guy's got a crazy tongue. This guy's got a really long hat. So we want to pull a mango. So far, we're just pulling some hollows. Is that kid smoking a cigar? No, he's got a binky. Okay. Oh, okay. You're going to pull Luffy, and he's super, like, ripped, and he's punching 1,000 times, so that's cool. I'm sure that has something to do with the story. What's the normal price for the Topps Series 1 if you don't know anything about it, so no premium? It is. Here's a hollow. Put this over here. Oops. Okay, here's a hollow. Here's a hollow. Here's a hollow. Here's a hollow. Here's this guy. Well, the idea of a normal price is, in my opinion, is debatable. Again, like, my price is based off of the quality of the actual booster packs. So if you want to go buy like a low quality one, we might have gone with like $112, I think. So if I had ended up pulling a box where it looked like the packs were more like the usual bad packs, because they're more often bad than good. They're actually usually bad. For Series 1, we probably would have gone with about 115 or 120. And actually, if you watch the beginning of the stream, that's what I initially priced it at. There we go. But yeah, that's a curious question. What's a normal price? This, oops. Very nice. That is for Mr. Steven. But if you guys feel it's too high, that's okay, because I'll probably just end up grading all of them. You guys know I grade Topps cards. I grade them like I grade the poker cards. I don't even offer the poker cards for sale. It is. All right. Very nice. I used to. I could again. I could actually offer those poker cards for sale again. I think I was starting a box up for that. Okay, that went into the Steven C bag. Thank you so much, Steven. Mr. Jaded, he says 6 of the BT03s. All right, BT03 time. Oh, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Steven, look away. Steven, this is for adults only. I need my Merlins graded. Does Beckett grade them? I believe they do, but so does PSA, by the way. So PSA also grades the Merlin cards. I would probably recommend PSA, not Beckett for those. Here it is. Here's a hollow. Here's a hollow. Here's a hollow. Here's a hollow. And here's a hollow. Very nice. Steven says thank you. No problem, Steven. All right, so you got some girl cards. They have appropriate outfits and breast sizes. Nothing unusual here. Let's pop this into your bag, Mr. Jaded. Nothing to see here. Just some guys hanging out with each other, opening some Nikkei packs, and making eye contact. PSA it is. Thanks, mister. I just don't like the wait time. Get comfy with that wait time. It's going to get worse, not better. Get comfy with it. Okay, so we do have a gigantic Garrett Nadal. He wants a box of OP14 and 202 slab away. Wow, that's a big slab away payment. Here you go, Mr. Garrett. This Dialga will move to $610. And then the box of OP14, which is right, where to go? Right over here somewhere. I think I need a fresh case of these, don't I? Oh, all right. So the box with the manga in it. Let's get it. When do you normally eat dinner? Pretty late. This stream has been kind of screwing up our schedule. You know, Karis gets off at 5, and it's almost 8, and she goes to bed at about 10. So my current stream schedule is pretty bad. I pretty much steal time that I would have spent with her, and I'm just spending it with you guys. So it's not a very sustainable strategy. What I should be doing is I should be live by 4 p.m., and I should be wrapped up by like 6 p.m. This gives Karis just about an hour by herself to do whatever she wants, and then, you know, we're hanging out with each other for the night. And so our late stream time, we started, I think, at 5:20. That late stream start time is no good. And the funny part is I didn't even have to, like, I wasn't even waking up today. I didn't go to bed. But I was working on other things. Like, I was actually listing a whole bunch of slabs on eBay. And then I prepared a submission to the PSA Vault to move some of my slabs over there. So I was just busy. Yeah, that's a problem. I feel like I could use an assistant to just do stuff for me all day long. Like, I can't keep up with it all. There's so much cleaning and organizing that needs to be done right now. Things are so cluttered. I can barely understand what I have sometimes because of how much stuff there is. Ha-ha! Mr. Garrett pulling the gold Don. I know that's good. Congratulations, man. I remember complaining about 2 to 3 months wait. Now it's 52 years. Well, never forget, you know, back in like 2021, the wait time was almost 2 years. Okay, like that was real. Wait, not 2 years, a full year, right? Am I going crazy? No, it was like a year and a half. That's what it was. It was like a year and a half. Yeah, so back in 2021, it got as bad as a year and a half wait time. Pretty insane. And what PSA started doing is they started changing the cost of grading to be upwards of $100 per card. And then they changed it. One day they changed it to be cheaper, but you had to get lucky and be there when they dropped open like a queue for you to get into to buy those spots. So at one point they made it like $75 per card, but you had to rush and buy it before anyone else. All right, beautiful, man. Yeah, it was crazy. 1.5 years. I think we had just 2 orders that were affected by that. Some of the other ones came back sooner than 1.5 years. I think a lot of them came back a year later. I remember because we submitted a bunch just before they shut down and did the big price increase. So I was submitting like mad. I was just submitting tons of cards. The sad part is by the time they came back, they had lost most of their value. It is Mr. Garrett. So by the time they came back, the price of the cards had shifted downward. And it was a very interesting experience. Taught you a lot. Mister, I remember at that time you used to say the price would never drop below $50 per card. Maybe I did say something like that. I don't know everything I said all the way back then. Obviously, the price has come down quite a bit. All right, beautiful. I don't know if I said it would never drop below 50, but I might have been referring to that time period. In other words, what I might have been saying is it's not going to be below 50 anytime soon. All right, guys. Well, I think we're all done. I had a great time. We're going to be back for the Monday nighttime stream at 1 a.m. in the morning Central Time. I hope you guys will be there. See you later, guys. I'm off to eat dinner.